It was written in a way where it's somebody revealing it, okay? But doesn't give any of the facts of, like it's been outed by the media or anything. But it's a virus that this person says is out there, and we'll talk about it next on KISS. Computers, but that they were getting a little bit too powerful. And if you think about it, she's probably got a point. If everybody stores everything on their computers, all you have to do is take hold of the computers and you take hold of us, right?
Yeah, I saw the net.
I mean, there are some things that that we would go to the wall to protect that are on our computers. Our bank account numbers, maybe if you're on E-Trade, trading stocks, that kind of thing. But even more importantly, how about family pictures? How about writings and things like that, personal things like that? Very important stuff that you keep on your computer. I know I do. And if you're like most Americans, you don't back up your computer very often. Have you ever backed up your computer, Kelly?
I wouldn't know how.
Yeah. Flake?
I used to when I first got into it, but not anymore. No.
It made it easier and easier, and still nobody does it. I read a story online written from a first-hand point of view. Don't know if it's true or not. The more I think about it, it can't be true. Because I know that the guy that put the story up is a writer. So that tends to make me think he made it up. Yeah. But he said that a year or so ago, this website that he put up was a desperate plea for help from people. He said that a year or so ago, he downloaded some shareware utility off the internet. Just some little file that you can download like we all do every day. Everybody downloads files off the internet.
Sure. Willy-nilly.
Sure.
Pell-mell.
3 weeks later,
helter-skelter.
He turns on his computer. He keeps his computer out in his little garage office that he's got. 3 weeks later, he turns on his computer, and instead of Windows 98 coming up, these stars start flashing on his screen. He's thinking,
how pretty.
He's thinking,
Dallas, stars.
No, he's thinking, uh-oh. And a message comes over his speakers. They had used the sound card for this virus.
Yeah.
And the message says, attention, the superstar virus has infected your computer.
Mm-hmm.
All of your data, we've taken control of all of your data. And if you want it back, you need to give us $20 off your credit card. We will charge only $20 off your credit card. There'll be no other way to get your data back. If you agree to these terms, type in the word accept. If you don't, your computer will be completely inoperable and all of your files will be lost. He'd have to basically reformat his hard drive and start all over again.
Mm-hmm.
He thought about it. He hated being held hostage by this virus, but he said, you know what, $20, that's dinner. What the heck? Let's give it a shot. If it gets my data back, that'd be great. Here's why he needed it so bad. The guy's a writer, and he'd just gotten an advance from a small publishing house to write this book. He was 60 chapters into this textbook that he's writing, and he hadn't backed it up.
Oh, man.
Smart.
He backed it up to like 10 chapters. So he would lose 50 chapters of a technical textbook if he didn't pay the $20. Now, he had no guarantee that even if he paid it, he'd get it.
Yeah.
But it's worth a shot. Wouldn't you do it? $20? I'd try it.
I'd call the police immediately.
You'd call the police, really?
Ransom?
Yes.
Didn't you learn anything from the movie Ransom?
He typed the word accept. It took control of his computer and took him to a website. A little form came up. Please type in your credit card number here. He did.
They should have already had his credit card number if they have the information in his computer.
He did type it. Well, maybe it wasn't in there. He did type in the
whatever.
Is your credit card information in your computer?
Yes. If I have ordered something off of a website, they have my computer number.
That doesn't mean that the virus take those numbers and use them. It doesn't mean they can do that.
Don't they have the information from every site I've visited in my stored in my memory?
Anyway, so he types
in access to my credit card numbers there.
He types in his credit card number in this innocuous-looking website with the form, pays his $20. Then the lady comes back on and she says, "Thank you very much for your cooperation. The superstar virus will now remove itself from your computer. Thank you." Bing. And his computer comes back on and everything's great. He immediately prints out the textbook. And it prints out fine, and he's like, what a great scam these guys got going on. So he writes on a couple of message boards, whatever you do, don't download this program, And he sees that other people have written about it, too, and if he'd only checked, he would have known. But he didn't, so there he goes.
Yep.
I got screwed, it cost me $20, end of story, fine. 1 month goes by, no problem. Turns on his computer one day, stars back on the screen. Please type the word accept, and we'll tell you how you can get all your data back.
That's right.
Well, because a month had gone by, and because people don't learn from their mistakes, he typed another 15 chapters in, did not have it backed up, thought he was done with it. It says, type the word accept. He does. It takes him to another innocuous website, and on that website it says, We need you to do something for us. We need you to actually make a delivery for us. If you refuse,
This is so stupid.
if you refuse to make this delivery for us, harm will come to you, Mr. So-and-so, at this address, who's married to this person and has a 7-year-old boy named this.
Oh.
And he's freaking out. He's thinking, I got to call the police. And they said, if you call the police. So now it's now it's very serious.
This is a movie script.
Yeah, totally is.
Maybe it is. I don't know.
Maybe it is.
Ken's
I don't
interrupting.
know.
Hello, Ken.
Hello?
Hi.
Hey, what up, kid?
What do you think of the story so far?
Well, first off, it's kind of crazy. Hey, Flake, let me say hi. What's up, man? I'm the same guy that worked at Star Canyon. I saw you yesterday. You gave me those tickets.
Oh, yeah. How you doing, dude?
How you doing, brother?
Doing all right.
Kid, if this guy, let's say he's a writer. Let's just give him the credit. He's a writer. He's an established writer. He's got stuff posted on the net.
He's writing a textbook.
Oh, okay. He's writing a textbook. He's established enough to get an advance from some company. This idiot knows to back up copies or back up information chapter by chapter, if not paragraph by paragraph.
Well, maybe not.
You hit store automatic. Well, he should. All I'm saying is that.
Well, yeah, you hit store automatic. It saves it to your hard drive, and then this virus comes in, takes it off your hard drive.
Well, my point is, if he's an established, if this guy's an established author or writer.
I get your point. I don't think it's very strong.
Well,
I think people get lazy and don't back up their work, and I don't think that's a crazy thing that this guy wouldn't back up his
This would
work.
be on the NBC Nightly News if this was true.
Okay, forget the trueness of it for a minute.
Oh, it's just entertaining.
No, you just said that. I mean, if he had like 20 chapters or 60 chapters, he'd only save 10 or 20.
Yeah.
That's my point. That's where it doesn't.
Thanks, Ken.
You're right.
Appreciate it.
Just gullible.
Well, listen to what he did next. After his family had been threatened, they said, we need you to make a delivery for us. We need you to go to this particular address and pick up a package and deliver it to this other address. And he's like, man, they got me running drugs or something. And they put up a picture of his wife that they had taken.
Ooh.
No. Couldn't possibly have happened.
This is ridiculous. This is a movie script.
He goes to this...
and if it's not, I'm going to write it and sell it.
He goes to this house, and the lady answers the door, and he says, I understand you're expecting me? And she says, yes, I am. I have your package right back here.
Oh, so he didn't call the police.
He did not call the police. They said, if you do this, we're done with you. That's it. Just make this one thing for us, and your family will be out of danger.
He totally messed up.
And he bought it.
He should have done exactly what Mel Gibson did right from the start. I'm going to take this $20 and I'm going to put it on your head.
Yeah.
And I am going to hunt you down for the rest of my life.
There you go. Well, if you thought it was outrageous so far, it gets way, way worse.
Well, it's because it's a lie.
He goes to this lady's house. She answers the door. This attractive mid-20s woman goes to her house. She says, yeah, I have your package here. He says, do you work for these people? What is going on here? She's like, I don't work for these people. I'm no different than you. I downloaded the virus. In the package,
Kind of like a potluck.
her instructions were to hand the money to him and for him to count it. There was a laptop in the dining room of her house with a webcam, and he was to count the money over the webcam and show it over the webcam. So he does this, and he counts the money out. Okay? I'm not even going to tell you what it said next.
Come on, tell us.
You must make love to her in front of the camera.
Exactly.
Oh, this is bogus.
Oh, please.
So bogus. If I guessed it.
That's exactly what it was. And you must, and then they were going to use that against it. He's like, I'm married. I don't want. You have to do it, or they're going to kill me, and they're going to hurt your wife.
And you must cuddle with her afterwards. No.
So I'm sucked into this thing, and I'm thinking, this probably isn't true.
Are you thinking maybe?
But it's so entertaining that I had to keep on with it.
Yeah.
And people are going to want the website. I don't have it. I have it at home. Let's go to Cindy. Hi, Cindy. You're on KISS. Good morning.
I think you're making it up, kid.
I swear to God, I'm not making this up.
Oh, with Kelly, this is so...
I don't think Kid made it up. I think somebody made it up.
I swear I didn't make this up. If I'd have thought of this, I'd have made it into a movie.
Well, you should go ahead and copyright the story then.
Oh, it's not for... I don't believe this.
The last thing I got, he makes this... He does what he's supposed to do with the woman in front of the web. And then he goes and
You think he could perform under that kind of pressure?
I don't know.
And the police has not been called at
Have
this
not been
point.
called, no.
Everyone's just working
You
for
must
people.
play this woman in checkers.
Thank you, Cindy. So He takes his computer over to this guy that he knows that was a military computer guy, and the guy basically just dissects every file on his computer and finds an address embedded in one of the programs, and it's an office and not far from where he lives, and so like 70 miles. They drive to this office and he talks to him, and it turns out that the company that made that program, it was a military program that was sold to private enterprise like 4 years ago, and they did not reveal. He couldn't reveal who they sold it to or anything, and so whoever bought the program was using it for that purpose.
Extortion.
So the military at one time wanted to extort the Russians into having relations and checkers games with stranded women?
The military at one time wanted to have a virus where they could take over someone's computer and then hold them hostage for the information therein. That is plausible. That's plausible.
Oh, yeah, sure. And make $20 at the same time.
So then what?
That's as far as I got. I went to bed.
No problem.
That's as far as you got?
I went to bed.
So this guy was so worried about contacting the police, now he's just posting his whole story on the web.
It's like, please help me.
Oh, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
They even sent him pictures of other people that they'd killed.
This is like a novel on the... You know, people are writing novels on the internet now.
I know.
You've just tapped into a novel, kid.
It didn't say it was. Let's talk to Ray. Good morning, Ray.
Yes, kid.
Yes.
I'm not saying that story is all true, but the basic premise of that story is true. That can happen where you can take over your computer, especially with everybody jumping on this DSL bandwagon, where you're always connected to the internet.
Yeah.
It's very easy to take control of somebody's computer that way.
Unless they have a firewall or something to prevent it.
Well,
and even if they do,
everybody, you can get there's a free firewall called zonealarm.com.
Okay.
Go there and download that. I know somebody personally that's happened to.
a firewall is something that protects you, Kelly, so that people can't get into your computer, but your computer can still get out onto the net.
See what's happening? This is becoming an urban legend.
Yeah.
He knows somebody that this happened to.
See?
It's starting to grow.
Did he have to make love to the woman? It's pretty amazing. You're right. You make a good point. This is something there's going to be a major crisis at some point in our lifetimes around this premise. Don't you think, Ray?
Right. I'm not saying that that's all made up. I'm not saying that whole thing's true, but I know a friend that his computer was taken over by a hacker because he has DSL, and he doesn't have any firewalls at all, and I had to help him get his data back.
Man. Thanks for calling, Ray.
All right, thanks.
All right.
I see how horror movies, instead of being like
Al's back.
killers with knives and guns and all this, in 10 years, horror movies are going to be like, oh, it tapped into my computer.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know what? I think it depends on the type of person that you are. But, Gail, let me ask you a question.
Oh, like I'm going to know.
You're a computer expert.
No, it's not a computer question.
Oh, good.
Since you don't know very much about computers, really, do you?
Nope.
Okay. So if this happened to you and somebody tapped into your computer and they told you, here's a picture of your husband that we took a half an hour ago outside of his office, and if you don't do something for us, we're going to kill him.
Wow. Strong.
And the thing they ask you to do is very innocuous. You just have to pick up a letter and deliver it to somebody else. Are you going to risk it? Are you going to call the police? What are you going to do?
I'm going to call one of my friends that I know could tell me something about the computers because I have lots of those.
And they say, Gail, we can't 100% say that this couldn't happen.
Then I'll call the police and then I'll go do it.
Okay.
You know, I have been bamboozled by very evil people before. People fall for things that you never think that we would fall for. And really, there's sometimes if you'll just stand up to who you think is absolutely Satan, then you'll find out you're a lot more powerful than you thought you were.
Is there anybody listening who has something on their computer that if it was made public would absolutely ruin them? There are people out there like Boy raised his hand. My point is, Everybody has something on their computer that would at least embarrass them. Almost everybody has something on their computer.
I have my measurements on my computer.
There you go. Now that you would be horribly embarrassed.
I never put that on
Kelly,
there.
you'd be horribly embarrassed if that was
I want
me.
to keep track of how much inches I've lost. I put my measurements on
Now,
there.
okay, all
I'd
right.
be devastated.
I'm going to go with
I have
this
to
a
make
second.
love to you on camera.
Well, after seeing your measurements, I'm going to go with this for a second, okay? Let's say, we're just talking out loud, but let's say, that's how you talk usually is out loud.